CoastLife, if you have a loved one who needs a little bit extra attention when it comes to memory care, you know how stressful it can be.
Oh, I'm sure.
How much time it takes up if you are the primary caretaker of that person. It's just, it's really hard to get through that on your own. But the good news is you don't have to. The Lodge at Historic Lewes is here just for that. It's a beautiful facility. I had a chance to check it out on my own, but Katie Zorilli from our sister show Delmarva Life had a chance to sit down with some of the residents there and it's just and chat about the program because it's really, really wonderful. So we're going to let Katie take it from here.
Nothing says home sweet home quite like an idyllic white fence and the light from a hung lantern. That's part of what makes the Compass Memory Care community of the Lodge at Historic Lewes as comfortable as can be.
It's taking into account, what is out there in the real world, right? Bringing it inside here.
Casey Gale is the Regional New Directions Coordinator, New Directions being the program that runs within the Compass community. She and the rest of the staff take pride in all the ways this neighborhood is set apart.
And we've always wanted to do something different for the community at large and just for our senior population that is affected by memory loss and those other kinds of cognitive impairments, and how we can kind of be intentional with our architecture, with our design, and then even within the programming itself.
You'll notice that architecture and design right away.
Our apartments themselves are actually individualized. They have different color siding, different door colors, different lantern shapes. All of this is there to individualize the apartment and make it feel like a home. It can be set up any way that makes sense for them in particular, but they're all studios, so but you can still really utilize the space, and we have different apartment setups, but this is just our model apartment now, and of course they have their own private closet area. Every apartment also gets a orientation clock, so it tells them the day, it tells them what's going on and the date and time, and it doesn't mean that we're going to test them on it, right, and make them have to what day is it, but the point is always about putting that information in the environment so they can find it themselves, right? Because if I can answer their question before they have to ask it, I can potentially reduce a level of frustration, so it's a big deal. And then of course they have their own private bathrooms too, like I was telling you with the accent wall, just a different color, to break up that beige, as well as even the grab bars being that same color, just another level of contrast, safety feature, so that they can grab on if they need to do that. Even as if you walk down, when you walk down the hallways here, you'll notice the carpeting itself is made to resemble cobblestone. So, and it fades out or in the middle, so it kind of gives the presentation of a lane or directional design.
Woven into the fabric, too, is a trained and tender staff that cares not only about each and every resident, but the people around them, too.
We're not only taking care of mom or dad, aunt, uncle, or whoever it may be, but we're here to take care of their loved one by having support groups available, having educational topics for care partners to come in, making sure that we're communicating.
And that communication doesn't just happen on bad days, but good ones, too. Like when residents are smiling and laughing as they travel somewhere else via virtual reality.
It really just connects them in this really immediate way that I was just blown away when I actually saw it working.
Rendeavor is just one of many programs to get folks engaged. And before you doubt it, Casey says there's truly something to it.
It's all within their present moment, because that's really where they're the strongest, if you're asking them how they're feeling right now, rather than anything that might make them have to remember.
I couldn't resist giving the goggles a go.
So you should see Take a Journey on a Hot Air Balloon.
Yes.
Wonderful. You ready? Enjoy your flight.
Oh, here we go. All right. Oh.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
So usually also we would have this cast onto a big screen in our theater or here in the living room, so those residents that aren't in the goggles can still see. Now, as I'm moving this tablet, it's not moving it for her. I can watch her face and I can look where she's looking, so I can make a comment and engage with her. And then even if I'm not sure about where to engage, there's little points in the video that give me little prompts and conversation.
Wow.
So this is in Portugal though. Would you like to go to Portugal?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is beautiful. There's a million hot air balloons.
There's a ton of them.
Of course, this is just one of all kinds of activities available.
You know, we are going on outings. We're making sure that we create that sense of normalcy. If it's the holiday season, they're gonna go out and they're gonna shop for their, decor to go up in the community.
And just in case you were wondering, they're eating good here too. Denise Kazmarchik's husband is a Compass Memory Care resident.
There's not been one day since John has been here that he's ever said to me, why can't I go home? He just doesn't say that.
She lives here too, but in the independent living area, as does Denise Clemens. Same situation.
They figure out what's the right breakfast that they're going to eat every day. My husband will only wear blue shirts. They've stopped trying to put him in the other colors. Little things like that seem trivial, and yet it makes it really comfortable for him.
So comfortable, in fact, he never looked back, even when they sold their home.
All along, Jack was saying to me, well, it was a great house. We really loved it, but I like it here. I really like it here.
I've really loved it more than I ever thought that I would. So he's very well cared for. As Denise said, there's nothing that they say no to. If they need anything in the middle of the night, they get it. So it just gives a great peace of mind.
I think as human beings, we should just be taking better care of each other. And so it's an honor for me to be able to do that.
The Lodge at Historic Lewes. Care of every kind, love at every level.
Thanks, Katie. And Paige, I also had a chance to sit down with some of the folks there at the lodge, and you can just feel the warmth and love that they have for the staff at the lodge and how well they take care of their loved ones.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can kind of live on site nearby, it alleviates so much stress.
I could imagine. Being in that state with memory issues, they really probably put you in a vulnerable position.
Yes.
I could only imagine. So having someone in our community to help take care of your loved ones, it does not get better than that. So that's absolutely incredible.